This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world. I'm Bruce. And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, we go. All right, here we go. Bruce.
Jody.
I want to talk about the apps that run your life, or maybe that have changed your life.
I've got app fever, you could say. I know.
Is that what that glow is?
That's exactly what that glow is. The glow of the phone.
Glow of the, I haven't checked my phone.
That's right. Yeah. I use many apps.
Yes.
And sometimes I look at them and I've got all these apps and I go, okay, do I really need all these apps? Like, do I use them? And then I start going through the different folders and I go, yes, I do.
So maybe we should back up a little bit and talk about, do you have an iPhone?
I do.
I have an iPhone.
I do.
Okay. So do you do the folder thing?
Yes. So I have.
So you're sort of organized with all that? Or are you like me where I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages?
Let's say that I started out with good intentions, and I have 2 pages.
Oh, wow.
And I have, 4, 8, and I have about 15 folders for different things.
Yeah.
Different categories of apps. And then I've got a bunch that just haven't made it in because I just gave up.
They don't have a category.
Or they don't have a category.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens. You're like,
just
does this go into travel or does this go into local?
Yeah.
I know. And then I'm like, do I really need travel and local as 2 different? Right. Yes, maybe.
The only folder I really have is social. So like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
right.
all that are in one thing.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what I use the most.
Okay.
So that's on the first page.
Right.
Yeah. And I hate it when I get new apps or if I want to, because the other day, one of my coworkers was like, oh my, I can't believe you have that many pages of apps. And I was like, well, what? I know where they are. I know how many swipes.
So you know where things are.
Yeah, it's like, right. My bank. Well, I did move like my banking stuff to my first page because I was like, ugh.
Right.
But if I move them, I get so lost and like, because I tried to organize them and then I was lost for like a couple of weeks.
Right. And it makes it difficult. And I have these things in folders and I still, or groups, whatever they call it on.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and there are still things that are hard for me to find, but I do have a lot that are go-to folders. So I've got I'll just kind of read some of these.
Sure.
So I've got a social, messaging, music, home, as though like for home automation.
Okay.
I've got a lot of that stuff. Work, because I knew there were a lot of things that I would be using for work on a regular basis. News.
Okay.
I have one for browsers. Why I just put the 2 internet browsers that I use into a folder, I don't know. It just felt right at the time.
Yeah.
Photo and video, which has a ton of stuff in it.
Like photo and video apps or like
editing. Editing and things like that.
Yeah.
The actual iPhone photo app I have down at the bottom is one of the 4.
Main. Okay.
Yeah, one of the main. So entertainment, which is all of the subscription streaming services, and then the games that I play.
Okay, yeah.
Finance, so all my banking stuff.
Yeah.
And then I've got a bunch of stuff hanging out here that I use on a very regular basis. So the clock, calendar, reminders, maps, and somehow Apple TV showed up here, which I don't remember putting because I don't use that. But then my second page is just a bunch of random stuff, travel, shopping, and then crap that I have not put away.
Yeah, I have a lot of apps that I used to use a lot more that I don't as much. So I should probably, but I'm always like, oh, I might use that again. Or if I'm like, I'm going to clean it up and I'm like, oh, I should use that.
It's kind of like app hoarders, where you see something, you're like, oh, I can't get rid of that. What if I need it? What if I need to use it?
Yeah. What if I might need to use it sometime in the future?
Has not used since June 2015.
Oh, you can look that up. I don't want to.
It's got something where you can go in and see some of that
so mostly mine is just like social again. Then I have finance.
Yeah.
Then I have like bearskin work stuff.
Right.
And then everything else is just like out on a page everywhere.
So what do you use the most? Like, what are your go-to apps every day?
So I guess the social like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter I use quite a bit.
Sure.
My Starbucks app I use every day.
Of course.
Pretty much. Got to get them points and get that free stuff.
Right.
What else do I use? This is a weird one. I use Zillow, which is like a
real estate
sort of app. So we're kind of on the hunt for houses. So I'm always looking. I'm like, ooh, that house is for sale. I'm going to look it up quick. So it like gives you the price and pictures and all that stuff. So
right.
Lyft, I use that one. I use the what is it called? Like TriMet tickets for the train and that kind of stuff. What else do I use? Oh, I use the DXL app when I'm at work all the time.
Oh, yes.
So I have that one kind of on my main page as a go-to.
Right.
Because I use that quite a bit at work.
So you've got quite a few different...
Yeah, I mean, literally, like I'm going through it right now and I'm like, I got DoorDash.
Yeah.
I have when we used to bring Bucket to a doggy daycare when we were in Vegas. It's called Camp Bow Wow. I have that still, but we don't live in Vegas. I could probably delete that one. I have a lot of weird...
I think of the things that I use the most, I mean, Facebook, Instagram, also the Facebook manager, the page manager for...
See, I deleted that.
Did you?
Because it wasn't working for the longest time, and I haven't updated that.
I use it... I use it enough that I feel like I need to keep it. I also have Untapped.
Oh, yes.
Gets a lot of use for every time I drink a beer. I try to put it in.
Yeah.
I use Swarm, which is... a location app, basically, where you check in at places that you go. I feel like it's good to be able to look back and go, yes, I went there. I
track your every movement. And...
I like to be able to see that kind of stuff and go back and say, oh, well, this is what I did in the last year. Nothing.
Nothing. I haven't been anywhere.
Yeah. So those, I mean,
what's the most like life changing? What has done the most for you?
What has done the most for me? Well, I mean, being able to check my email and do all of that, it's mostly mundane kind of work stuff, you know? Yeah. I mean, my Gmail app and being able to jump into that. Being able to do most of my work from my phone, which really you can, but it's still not that easy. Like if I'm trying to write an article.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm not writing an article on my phone. No. I can barely do that on my iPad or on my computer for that matter.
Right.
But, you know, the ones that get the most use, I mean, social, probably the work stuff, news for sure. So I've got the Apple News app, Reddit. I've got a local newspaper app. Then I've got like IGN, so I can keep up on pop culture and, you know, video games and all the things that I want to waste my time with.
Right.
Yeah, you know, Nextdoor, because listen, if you don't have the Nextdoor app, then you're not. Nextdoor is like, it is an app that lets you like connect with your other people in your neighborhood. People in your neighborhood, so they get to share what's going on in the neighborhood, what they're up to, if they're selling things, or having a yard sale, or looking for a babysitter or someone to mow their lawn, or if they want to talk about like crime stuff or so like how much they hate their city or all those kind of things.
You just log in and put like your address or your geolocates.
There's a process you have to go through to actually get into it, and they will mail you something.
Oh,
and they mail you this thing, and that's how
it like verifies your whatever.
Yeah, and it's got like a code and all that.
Huh.
But it's amazing, and it's like it's equal parts like illuminating and dramatic because you have so many different types of people in your community that all talk about all kinds of different things in different ways. And here in Portland, there is a lot of discussion around homelessness, crime, how to handle that, how people feel about it, all those things. So it's a whole lot of crazy. And I kind of love it.
Yeah. Oh, you like
it's there's good and bad. So you know, and I would say that most of the time, at least with my neighborhood, And I think that you and I, we live close enough together that we would be in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
That mostly good triumphs over evil. So I enjoy it. It's interesting to read. It's just, I think it's really interesting to know what you're like, how the people around you feel about things and like what they're doing and what they're talking about.
Well, it's a good way to keep connected with what is going on in your neighborhood. I think that's a good thing to do.
Absolutely.
I might do that.
It's just worth reading. It's great. I mean, I'm looking now. Lost
Is it
Dog.
like a message board type thing?
Kind of. Yeah. So people are putting their whatever.
It's just like it looks like a news feed.
Totally news feed. And I mean, they're calling out all kinds of things. Lots of missing dogs right now, apparently. Cold showers.
Not even any fireworks going on.
Yeah.
What app did you download? What's the latest app you downloaded?
The latest app that I downloaded was, let's see.
Mine's not that great. It's Capital One.
Oh, is it? Oh, nice.
Mine's not because I got a new Capital One credit card. Right. So I was like,
yeah, it looks like
download the app. I should actually put that in my finance folder.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
But probably won't.
I downloaded, apparently I downloaded this Apple TV app. I've been adding to my entertainment folder. So, mostly Netflix and Hulu. And
you watch stuff on your phone?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes. I like to know that I can.
In case I want to, I want to be able to very quickly.
And then I've got I've got some of the different comics apps. So, I'm able to kind of read that sort of stuff. I've got a couple of different games. And I've got Libby, which is great if you haven't used that before. Libby is a library app, and it lets you connect to the library with your library card, and you can check out books electronically.
Nice.
It's amazing. It's a life changer. HBO Now, things like that.
Yeah.
Mostly when I'm watching shows and I'm not watching them on TV, I'm watching them on my iPad. I've got an iPad Pro that I've had for a couple of years that I love. I got it as one of those things where I thought, I get an iPad Pro, but I'm not going to use it that much. And I love it. It's amazing. Like I use it for everything. It's great. Nice. I highly recommend. So great for watching shows. So.
All right. So let's go to our Untapped app.
Yes.
While I open this beer.
All right. Untapped. And if you don't have the Untapped app, you should definitely get it. It allows you, if you are a beer connoisseur and you like to try a lot of different types of beers, to track those. And I know for me, I have a bad memory. I'm looking at my...
Especially while drinking.
Yes. I'm looking at my profile. I have 1,739 check-ins and 1,331 beers. So
different beers.
Yes. And you can rate your beers, take photos, leave comments. There are lists that are like wish lists, beers that you've enjoyed. You can check in on your locations. Talks about all kinds of things. You can add friends. I mean, it's a beer social network. So it is everything that you would want out of like a beer app, basically. So
so you can search any local craft beer. It's amazing. It has, I don't know, the breweries just must send them in or whatever. So this one is Pelican Brewing. It's a local beer. Is it called Kiwanda?
Kiwanda, yes.
Okay. It's a cream ale. It's a 5.4 ABV, alcohol by volume, and a 25 IBU, which is the International Bitter Units.
This is such a smooth cream ale. It's just like smooth and drinkable.
It says inspired by one of America's traditional 19th century beer styles, Kiwanda has a golden color, floral aroma, refreshing body, and clean, snappy finish.
I like that.
That snaps.
Oh, nice.
Enjoy with your toes. What?
Yeah.
Enjoy with your toes in the sand at our Oceanfront Brew Pub or in your own backyard.
So I'm going to check in on this beer on the Untapped app because you also get badges for checking in on certain beers. If you find a beer that you like, you check in. If you find a beer that you don't like, you check in.
And no matter what, just so I can keep track.
Right.
You can get it. You can give it a rating, take pictures, see who else has had it, where they've had it.
Very smooth, very clean.
a light. So, check in first. There we go.
Take a picture of your beer.
A bottle. Creamy, light, clean. I don't know. Yeah.
Yep.
It gives you some suggestions, but then you can kind of also put in whatever your flavor notes that you're getting.
Yep.
And then you can rate it from 0 to 5 stars or whatever.
Oh, Jody, I got 2 badges when I checked it on this beer.
Uh-oh, I didn't take...
Photogenic Brew, level 89, which means 445 check-ins with a photo.
Oh, nearby verified venue. Okay.
And 99 bottles. That's 85 check-ins.
Bottles of beer.
Yes.
I didn't...
85 check-ins with the serving style of bottle.
It's funny. I just saw you. You took a picture of your empty glass.
I took a picture from the top so that it would look like it had more in it than it does.
So yeah, if you do drink beer, it's a good thing.
It is.
It's kind of nice to track all the different kinds of beer. I did find a new beer app that I'm excited. Taver, Tavour, that I'm gonna try out and order some fun beers for us to try out.
Right.
They give you like beers of the week or day or something. You can pre-order them or order them.
So you're going to try it out? And
try it out and see. Give them a little, give it a try. It's nice because you can order beers that aren't from your area.
Which is nice, yeah.
Yeah, because I get,
we have so many different breweries here and so many beers, but it's nice to be able to...
Ooh, this one's from Big Lake, Minnesota.
Hey.
So yeah, all over the country, you order as much, they only have so much of it that you can get. They limit it how much you can get.
They're so weird about what you can deliver and how you can get beer.
But this is
mailing beer.
I think it's out of somewhere in Washington State.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I was like, oh, weird.
I once tried to ship some beer to someone through Reddit. Had a subreddit that was for beer trade, and walked into the FedEx office with my beer, and I was like, I would like to send this beer. And they're like, oh, you can't do that. And so I started to walk out, and somebody was in line behind me, followed me out, and was like,
beer.
Yeah, put it in a box and say you're shipping your hot sauce. I was like, oh, okay. Sure enough. We're not advocating breaking
we're not
rules,
admitting, or
I'm not saying that I ever did that.
No, but it's
but I guess if you were going to do that,
people have said that you can do that.
Yeah, right.
That guy at the post office.
That guy in the parking lot.
The guy in the parking lot of the local post office.
I was taking advice from a guy in a parking lot. Of course, I didn't follow his advice. Right?
No, never do that.
No.
Yeah, they're in Tukwila, Washington.
Nice.
They're at least the warehouses of this Taver app.
Taver.
I'm saying Taver.
Another app that I use constantly is the Reminders app.
Reminders? Okay.
To remind me to do things that I don't actually end up doing.
I need to use the Reminder app a little bit better. I was a little late to our appointment for recording this today. I apologize again.
The calendar app definitely comes in handy.
And I swear it's in my calendar.
Is it? I didn't have it in my calendar, and
I'm like, I'm just taking Bucket for a walk now, and I'll be right there.
I was about to say, and I still made it, and then I realized that we're at my house.
I would hope you made it down the stairs.
Yes. So,
what else? I don't know. That's about. I mean, I literally have all these random things. I still have the Movie Pass app that is. I don't even think they're in business anymore.
Oh yeah, I use the Reddit app a lot. So much to look at on Reddit. It's ridiculous.
There's too much for me.
Yeah, I get that.
Excuse me.
I subscribe to Apple Music. Yes, I'm an Apple fanboy, so I've got all of that stuff.
I do Spotify.
Yeah.
That's my music thing.
Yeah. So
listening to the new Missy Elliott stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I want to know what's your top app that you use every day besides the podcasting app that you're listening to us on, probably.
Oh yeah, right. I just use the Apple Podcast app.
Yep. Whatever, it just says podcast.
Yep. But I know for sure that some of the people who are listening to this podcast use other things, because I had to learn all about the Google Play podcast thing. Yes. which is a nightmare cluster if you don't have an Android.
We love you, Google.
Yeah. Yay, Google. Figure out your podcast app.
Yes,
but we figured it out.
Yes, we figured it out. You can listen to us on all kinds of different platforms.
Please.
So continue listening. Share our podcast with all of your friends.
Yep.
And then let us know what apps you're listening or you're using.
Yep.
What can't you live with? What can you not live? Wow, I cannot speak.
Well, it's all this beer.
All this
that powerful cream ale.
That cream ale from Pelican. Let us know what apps you're using. That's all I want to know.
That's it.
I'm just going to stop.
It's time for bed.
All right. Well, thanks, Bruce.
Thanks, Jody.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.